bring in the brand new Secretary of Energy, Chris Wright, who was sitting at the table in that cabinet meeting at the White House. Secretary Wright, thanks for joining us. I have questions about energy in 1 second, but I do want to ask you just about the dynamics of that interesting cabinet meeting, because Elon Musk didn't actually sit at the table. He kind of towered over it. He essentially led the meeting for parts of it. How is that for the cabinet secretaries? Are you guys okay with Elon Musk providing direction?
Oh, Elon Musk and President Trump are working together with all of us in the cabinet to figure out how to run America's government more like America's business, efficient, better services, better delivery, more efficiently done. And Jake, I should also chime in. What you saw was the press conference at the start of the cabinet meeting, not the actual cabinet meeting that started after all the press left. There was a wide-ranging dialogue around the table from the cabinet measures, the president, and the vice president.
Good note. Good note. Appreciate it. Let's talk about your energy agenda. Your background is in fracking, so you are obviously for the continued production of export of coal, oil, and gas. You have visited 2 national labs in New Mexico this week to push for the use of nuclear energy as a reliable and affordable source of power. You also want the tech sector using that energy to become a leading force in the development of artificial intelligence. DOGE has obviously initiated the reduction of the federal workforce, including at the Department of Energy. How are you going to be able to do all of this with so many cuts happening at your agency and others?
Oh, I don't think we'll be impaired at all. The last administration, President Biden grew the DOE workforce by 20% in his 4 years there. Energy prices went up. Opportunities for Americans went down. We made appliances more expensive and lower performance. So it's not the output isn't directly related to per person. We're going to do sensible, common sense regulations to drive innovation, increase energy prices, expand choice and opportunity for Americans, and drive down prices. And I'd love to elaborate on the lab trips as well if you got time for that.
Yeah, tell us about that, because that's interesting. Is there going to be a real push for more nuclear energy in this administration?
Absolutely. We want to launch the American nuclear renaissance in this administration. But I was at the 2 largest national labs. First, Los Alamos. That is the birthplace of America's national lab system, and that was the headquarters of the Manhattan Project, where in a rushed effort, we developed an atomic bomb in a race against Nazi Germany. We won that race, helping bring the war to a conclusion and setting us up to win the Cold War. The next Manhattan Project is AI. We need to lead and win that race as well. The consequences are equally dire if we fall behind in this race. And it's going to take a lot of energy, a lot of intelligence, a lot of investment, a lot of innovation, a lot of American spirit.
Yeah, I mean, it does take a lot of energy, and I know that there are individual areas of the country that are reluctant to allow these new power centers to fuel AI and the AI demand that's coming. How are you going to resolve that?
Yeah, I think Americans are rightfully concerned. In the last 4 years, electricity prices went up over 20% with hardly any demand growth. Now we have rapid demand growth with AI and reshoring of manufacturing coming online. Americans are rightfully worried about what's going to happen to our electricity prices during that. So we are working fervently to grow the supply of electricity at least as fast and hopefully faster than the demand, so that we can accommodate AI and the reshoring of manufacturing without any further increases in electricity prices. I think we can do it.
I know that you said that the Department of Energy grew 20% in the last administration, the Biden administration, but still there must be concerns within the Department of Energy about these cuts. What is the feeling? How is morale in the agency? I believe that your agency was one of the few that told employees they did not have to reply to that email justifying their employment and citing 5 things that they did in the previous week.
Yeah, all the agencies are different. But look, the nuclear stockpile of our weapons, what powers our submarines and our aircraft carriers, that's all in the Department of Energy, as is our basic scientific research. So it's just very different purviews for all the different agencies, and they're all going to do their own approach and their own method. DOGE is like consultants. They're like auditors coming into your business to gather data, identify trends for you, and then each secretary is going to use that information differently to make their department leaner, but more efficient and higher output.
There's something I wanted to ask you about, and it's not a Department of Energy regulation, but it is relevant to what you do, which is there are reports that the General Services Administration is shutting down 8,000 electric vehicle chargers on federal properties and deleting websites about electric vehicle efforts. Does that make sense to you, to reduce the number of electric vehicles? I understand that the administration doesn't want to force electric vehicles, the Trump administration, but there are still a lot of people out there who use them, and it is part of the future of energy in this country.
Oh, absolutely, Jake. Yeah, this administration's about more choice, more empowerment of American citizens. We have nothing against electric cars. Every American that wants an electric car should buy one, and they are. But today, most electric cars are bought by well-off individuals, and it's not fair to have all Americans subsidize wealthy people to buy electric cars. We just want to make it a level playing field. But we have nothing against and have no plans to stand in the way of the growth of electric vehicles or any other novel idea American entrepreneurs have. I'm all for it.
Energy Secretary Chris Wright, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks. Thank you, Jake.